4/20 July 2014. Let's talk about the core. A lot of people mention the core when they're talking about exercising and working out, but I feel like they don't really know what they're talking about. Your core is your engine. It's your motor, okay? It's where all your power comes from because it includes the strongest muscles in your body, especially the erector spinae and the gluteus maximus, the extensor complex along the back of your body. Those muscles working together create more power than anything else in your body. They are the thickest and the most powerful muscles in the body, and there's a reason that, of course, they surround the spine, surround your hips. Again, that's your engine. That's where all of your power comes from. A strong core means that those muscles are working together with all the muscles that surround your abdominal cavity. There's two rings of muscle, okay? One goes around like this, like a big belt, and one goes up and down like this. Those two rings lock together, and when they're working together in conjunction with each other, that's when you've got everything supported here. That's when you have a strong core. The first ring, again, if we went in the sagittal plane, up and down the body like this and cut you in half, got your abdominal contents, rib cage sitting on top. Whole thing's held together by a sack of skin. And our nugget sitting on top. So again, sagittal plane, right? We've been cut in half long ways. At the top of ring number 1 is the diaphragm, the bell-shaped diaphragm. Right? Sits underneath the rib cage, like I said, as a bell. At the bottom of ring number 1 is the pelvic floor. We use those muscles whenever we're going to the bathroom. Those muscles are crucial for childbirth. We also use those muscles for lots of other things like controlling our bladder, sex, you name it. At the back of ring number 1, the erector spinae. In orange there. And at the front of ring number 1, the rectus abdominis. The good old six-pack. So again, you've got a ring of muscles there that have to work together, right? And figuring out how to get those muscles on the same page while you're doing something like a deadlift or picking up a bag of dog food, that's what it means to have a strong core. That these muscles are strong and have stamina and can work together to get the job done. The second ring. Lumbar vertebrae. Transverse plane cross section. This is like when the magician cuts the lady in half, okay? Across your midsection. Again, this is a lumbar vertebrae, transverse plane of it. In the orange, in the back, the erector spinae. Okay? Again, simplistic representation, bear with me. Green in the front, the abdominals. Specifically the rectus abdominis. And then the mystery man, connecting everything together, the transverse abdominis. Now a lot of you are saying, whoa, 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 the transverse abdominis does not wrap around the rectus abdominis and the erector spinae. You're right. But what is wrapped around those muscles is fascia. Fascia is the net that holds everything together in your body. It connects your skin to your muscle. It connects your muscles to your muscle. It connects your muscles to your bone. It's wrapped around your joints. It is everywhere, okay? And it is through the connective tissue of fascia, which is a contractile tissue, that everything in your body is connected. Sorry, I'm sweating like a pig here. Just got back from a run, and I wanted to strategically plan it so that I was glistening when I gave this little talk right here. Anyways, transverse abdominis goes in between these muscles like a big belt, okay? It's the deepest of the core muscles because on the outside of it is the internal oblique and the external oblique. Also important muscles of the core, crucial muscles for breathing, but not as important as the transverse abdominis. Transverse abdominis, again, like a big belt. You see those guys walking around in lows wearing lumbar support. Well, that belt is mimicking the transverse abdominis. And when it contracts, it's like a pulling tight, okay? Because it is directly connected to the connective tissue, the fascia, and therefore the muscles of the erector spinae and the rectus abdominis. When it contracts, it braces the entire core, okay? Imagine you've got this loop of muscle and connective tissue, and again, when it contracts, it pulls tight, right? When it does that, it braces the lumbar spine, okay? The lumbar spine has these two big columns of muscle running up and down either side of it, okay? The entire spinal column, right? You've got the spine in the middle, and then these two big columns of muscle running up and down each side of it, okay? The erector spinae. We rely on those all day long. That's why the low back is always in pain, because we make it work so hard. We don't bring in the rest of the core to back it up. And again, that's what a strong core is all about. Having these two rings working together in conjunction with one another, okay? Two rings wrapped up together around the midsection. One more time, you've got pelvic floor on the bottom, diaphragm up top, erector spinae in the back, rectus abdominis in the front. That's ring number one, sagittal plane, right? Ring number two, transverse plane. You've got erector spinae in the back, rectus abdominis in the front. Transverse abdominis is the deep one. He's the one who's the most important. He's the belt that tightens everything up. And on the outside of it, you've got the internal oblique and the external oblique. But again, the one we want to focus on is the transverse abdominis, all right? When those muscles are all working together, that's when you've got a strong core.